Welcome to this week's market report for the week ending December 10th, 2010. I'm getting a lot of questions from potential sellers out there, owners of real estate. What is actually affecting the home prices as we move into 2011 and 2012? And there are a lot of factors out there. There are the unemployment rates, interest rates, and really just the economy in general. But what all three of those things funnel into is really supply and demand. And what I want to put into a nutshell today for you is how supply and demand affects real estate sales and pricing. And if we look at this next chart, you can see we have two different elements here. We have the red line here, which is months of supply, and we have the blue lines, which is demand. Now, as you can see, back in November, when the first tax credit was supposed to end, sales skyrocketed in the months up to September, and our demand skyrocketed, therefore bringing down our months of inventory. And it brought it down to a point, actually, where it came in at about 7 months. And normally, when you see anywhere between 5 and 7 months of supply in a real estate market, we are looking at a pretty average, pretty normal, pretty balanced real estate market. And then, as you can see, the first tax credit supposedly ended. They did extend it, and it kept sales up or demand up a little bit higher, and then it ended again in June of 2010. So that demand for home sales, because of that tax credit, kept months of supply pretty much in check. But as you can see then, after June of 2010, the tax credit ended, so did our demand. And then just gradually our demand through the summer months increased a little bit, but you can see now in October it's starting to decrease again, which is going to increase our months of supply. This gap between demand and months of supply is what we have to work on. As long as we have this large of a gap between demand and supply, we are going to see prices of real estate continue to decline. Now, this chart came from the National Association of Realtors, which is a national graph, and I will cover some local numbers with you later on in this report. But I really want to help to get across the point that as long as we have decreased demand and increased supply, this gap will ensure us that prices will continue to decline until we can probably get to a point like we were back in November of 2009. More locally, you can see here in the 4 counties that I have, in Dodge County right now, we have a little over 13 months of inventory. Jefferson County, almost 17 months. Washington County, a little bit over 12 months, and Waukesha County, 10 months. And the definitions of where supply and demand is going to take prices, if we have anywhere between 1 and 4 months of inventory, we are in a seller's market, and we can't expect price appreciation. If we're about 5 to 6 months supply of inventory, we are in a very balanced market, and prices will follow inflation. If we get to over 7 months supply of inventory, it means we're in a buyer's market and can't expect price depreciation. So if you look at and compare the 7 months or even the 5 to 6 months where we need to have a balanced market and see where we are here in our 4 local counties, we do have a ways to go, and until we can get this to 5 to 6 months, again, we will see, unfortunately, we will see price depreciation. As always, if you have any questions on today's report, please contact your local Shorewest Realtors agent, or feel free to contact myself, Dan Ludwig, at dludwig@shorewest.com. Again, with the proper information, we can keep the market moving in the right direction. Thanks, and make it a great day.